Mrs. Aarti Girdhar is the founder and president of Anand Global Foundation. She is a philanthropist and educationist with 2 decades of wide-ranging teaching career. She has specialized in the foundation of positive psychology from the University of Pennsylvania. She has been instrumental in training more than 100,000 students across various schools and colleges on various health related issues and is dedicated to the cause of promoting and enabling wellness and living standards for an all round welfare of the society. Her passion for teaching and running helped her to spread positivity and happiness among children.
Do you think parenting the millennials today brings with it any challenge, and do the teens require boundaries?
Uh, Thank you, Jyoti ma'am and Dr. Kishore. I am some of my points that I want to highlight. You have already touched upon. So actually, this is the kind of reinforcement that we, as an educationist and working in this field, are doing. So, well, millennial parents have refrained from the traditional style of parenting and are more progressive in raising their kids. I believe because a lot of information around and everything is there. They are more organized, and before even becoming a parent, they believe in building their career and themselves for a more secure future. I believe that parenting is dynamic, and parents have so much information around them that they start believing what's happening around. Each parent look for parenting style of other parent, and henceforth the challenges start, because we as human beings believe in what others are doing rather than what we are doing. We don't believe in our strategies than the other strategies. So dear parents, please understand that each child is unique, and therefore you need to be creative according to the needs and understanding of your child. Setting boundaries for your teen is an essential part of parenting, and a teenager's natural instinct is to push the boundaries that their parents set. So this is a tug of war for the millennial parents. As far as the last question is concerned, do teens require boundaries? My answer is completely yes. So much of information around. You don't know what information your child is picking. I mean, every human need personal space. So why not our teens? Our only thing that the teens need is to believe that his parent trust him or her, and that they should not take advantage of their trust, because anyways in this pandemic time we have to give the gadgets to the child. They have the freedom to see anything on the gadget, but once the parent designed a strategy to trust on them, then things may work. Stick to the rules and back each other up. Give positive messages. Teenagers are going through a difficult phase of discovering who they are as people. And there is often a big drop of their self-confidence during this period. Parent can help by reinforcing the positives to remain in their teens of their strength and qualities. Tell them you love them and often as you can, and teens can never too big or too old to give a hug. Lead by example. Parents need to show that they live within reasonable boundaries themselves, and that they consider the consequences of their behavior on other people. As far as challenges for our next generation concerned, dear parents, they are multifold as compared to your time, like dealing with technology, dealing with peer pressure, dealing with social media, dealing with identity, dealing with tough competition everywhere. Give them space, let them breathe, let them design their own destiny. Keep yourself in their position. It's difficult time. So no need to do, as ma'am said, helicopter parenting. Money can buy material for your child, but cannot buy emotional upheaval they may be going through. So please love your child. Never compare them with anybody. Value togetherness. And last but not the least, love them unconditionally. Trust them. Thank you.
Very rightly articulated, Aarti ma'am, and I think some very valid points we've got there. Parenting is dynamic, and yes, one size doesn't fit all. We are all learning on the job, be it any sphere, but I think we learn from our own experiences. And yes, you've touched upon a very sensitive thing. Gadgets are a necessary evil. We all know, and especially in the last 2 years, I mean, we've had to embrace this evil. And it's very, very important to have that trust factor. You cannot disallow your child from using the gadgets, but yes, you need to develop boundaries also. Totally agreeable, ma'am. Ma'am, you have worked extensively on life skills training for adolescents since we've been talking about assertive communication, effective communication. Aarti ma'am, we would like to know from you, I mean, what are life skills and how important are they for the modern age adolescents? Especially highlighting the assertive and effective communication that we've been discussing here.
Yeah, it's very close to me, close to my heart, since I was teaching in the various schools and found that one thing that is missing during my journey as a teacher is life skills. So, have you ever wondered why some people get ahead and others do not? Have you noticed that the smartest people are rarely the ones in charge? That's because smart is just a small part of what is required to live a happy and successful life. We also need to develop life skills, which include a mixture of psychological and behavioral skills. I never received any award throughout my school, and I was in the dilemma that I am not capable of. And once I understood what life skills are, I think this is my greatest award of my life that has made me happy forever. So, life skills are abilities for adaptive and positive behavior that enable human to deal efficiently with demands and challenges of life. Simple things like managing anger issues, setting goals, having a positive mindset, knowing your worth, self actualization, self confidence, having good habits, taking effective action, setting the right priorities, self soothing, optimism, and endless of life skills that actually seems at times boring to most of the student. They will actually are the bring optimism, the self confidence in you. These caters to social skills, emotional skills, and thinking skills. Modern day adolescents are emotional because of the lot of information around. They have lot of resources, surrounded with virtual friends, forced to being logged in their room because of pandemic. Never seen any discomfort in their life because parents are providing everything on their table. Live life in their own terms. So, how to manage them? Dear parents, it's difficult. And start training them for the above mentioned life skills. Have patience, they are listening and they will listen. It's very, very important to keep an ear for them. And dear adolescents, dear teens, let me tell you, it's not always easy for parent also to open their communication with you. We need to think twice what will go with you to make you understand the things. So life skills both ways for parents and children. It's not an easy thing to handle. It seems to be boring, but it's not an easy thing to handle. Thank you.
Right. Thank you for that enlightening thought, Aarti ma'am. We would like to know from you, what are the hands-on strategies that you could share with us? Your inputs on remediation. It would give us an insight on better parenting practices.
Okay. So regarding that, Dr. Kishore has said regarding mental health, I feel that we have accepted these 2 years have made us into the habit of doing what our kids are doing and what we are doing. So when your child become a teenager, your parenting role is also likely to shift. You may find yourself becoming more of a guide rather than an enforcer. It's okay to let your child make some choices of their own, even when you think it's a bad choice. Let's understand the typical behavior of our teens. Teen like to test the limit of their independence. So don't be surprised when your teen argue with you, when you say no, and when they go behind your back to do what they please to do. There is also often a tug of war between parent and teens. Your child may demand your assistance 1 minute and they claim that they do not want you for the next time. Adolescents change physically, emotionally, and socially. It's normal for teens to act responsible and almost adult like in some areas of their life while still holding onto their childlike behavior in the other areas. Meanwhile, as friends and romantic relationships grow increasingly important, your teen will want to spend more time with their peer. That means less interest in their family time. Your teen will also want to more privacy. That has been said already discussed. They may want to keep their social media conversation private and they want to spend more time in their room with the door closed. All these challenges are normal part of growing up. It's important, however, to keep an eye for mental health issues. Depression, anxiety, eating disorders, substance abuse issues, all these are a part of a teenager's life at times. So you need to be careful. That has already been discussed. By now, you have only few years left to prepare your teens for the real world. And it can be tricky to strike a balance that give your child enough freedom while still offering them plenty of guidance. Most teens want more freedom than they can handle. They may try to debate when you have said no for a party, etc. Your teen may even have short temper and they may become distraught over relationship trouble, friend issues, school relationship problem. It's all common for teens to lie in an attempt to get out of trouble. Your teen may deny breaking the rule. They may change the way they dress and wear their hair, as has been said, and as they look for a new style to express themselves. Now, the big question what to do? If you behave like an overprotective parent that we talked about, helicopter parenting, then this will not be a healthy decision. If you are too permissive, however, you won't gain the skill. They need to become a responsible adult. Parents, have clear expectations. Before you drop your teen off at the movies, parties, or a mall with their friends, make your expectations clear. Tell them what you want to do if they encounter a problem or, or what time you expect them to be back home. Your teen will likely to live up to your expectations as long as those expectations are reasonable. So make it clear that you expect them to do well in school and that you expect them to get their chores done every day. When you give your teen a new privilege like a smartphone or later curfew, create a behavior contract. Review the rules and outline the consequences of breaking rules. And this should start pre-teen only. These making rules in the home. If your 16-year-old sits in their room and play video game all day, they may not be misbehaving, but they might still need some discipline to help them socialize and behave more responsibly. Provide discipline that help your child to do better. Spend time with them, play video games with them. If they are not listening to you, then Step into their shoes. Watch movies together. Be a good role model. Your teen learn by watching what you do rather than hearing what you say. So make sure you are a good role model. Step into their world. Your teen may communicate more freely over social media or through the text message, because this is the age of text messaging text. So to be willing to step into their teens world and talk to them in whatever form they seem to be comfortable opening. Remove privilege if needed. Assign extra responsibilities, and engaging mind is always genius. Don't push. Don't insist your teen talk to you. What has happened? Why you are looking stressed and all that. It's healthy for your teen to gain some independence. So don't insist what they should tell everything to you. Help them identify. Several other healthy adults might be there at home, like an aunt, grandmother, coach, teacher, neighborhood, might be the type of people your child feel comfortable talking about certain subjects. Be a problem solver to them. Solve problem together, brainstorm ideas together, and then encourage the teens to pick the potential solution. I would like to conclude with most important role of parent is to communicate with your teenager regularly. Communication with your teen may feel like uphill battle sometime, but it's important to keep trying. Healthy communication is at the heart of any good relationship. It's important to talk about everything from peer pressure to their goal for the future. When your teen knows that they can talk to you, they will be more likely to seek your guidance, and you are at the happiest moment of parenting. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Aarti ma'am. Very aptly put together. And I think the strategies that you've spoken about are all doable practices. And I think if we just start taking care of these simple things, simple points, I think it is going to lead to a better parent child relationship.